digest. So we don't know. So I stopped the material. Yeah. And this particular work is done in marble in Jaipur Kala Kendra. That time, I don't know, the whole institution was made, Charles Korea's architecture. There's nothing happening actually. So I thought how to open the institution. So I tried to make a key, imagining the keyhole and how the positive key can be made. It's something like that, yeah? Yeah. This work, you can probably see if you work, and if you have any doubt any time, either now or later, probably we can discuss. This work, I got the national award. See, why all the bronze sculptures, I call them Bronze Age. So many, one time I was doing a lot of bronze, and I do molding, I will de-wax, I make the kiln, and I have few helpers. Because of stone, you see bronze properly. Because of bronze, stone also you see thoroughly. Both the material must have bond together, and it might last. It has different qualities. So I like to use two material most of my work you would see, yeah? Okay, next. In this work, I haven't even removed the complete mold from inside. And inside there is a pot also. Water and bronze are fused together. You can't remove it. So normally, as long as the bronze lasts, the terracotta also will last. That was titled Five Senses Blackened. Yeah. Okay, next. This work I did in Baroda in one of the camps is called The Seventh Sea. There are 7 trophies like thing, and it's a marble that itself is my height, and it goes through, and there are 2 snails in both the sides, and it goes through it. It's all marble also is like ice. If you bring the temperature, it melts also. So for sculpture, I thought it's appropriate to mix this. Yeah. And also, most of my work, you see the one pot inside. So you could also imagine inside, not only just outside. Also, all the nails and all that I retain inside to show the technique. This is how the blind people really understand. If you remove the mold completely, it's like, unnecessary. You would also able to see the process while seeing the sculpture. Yeah? Okay. Even the previous one has a big pot and bronze. The pot is fused inside. It's a global warmth. Yeah? And in stone also, these are all old-fashioned grinding stones. And some area I polish. Normally the grinding stones are inside. So to bring the inside out, I break it and bring it out. Yeah. Yeah, next. And one stage I also making this bronze, and I use copper wire and beads and all that, and do it like that. And also here is like a rocking horse. You can slightly move it. When you move, it might make some sound also. It's called No Secrets. One brass pot was cut open, and some of my casts been braced in. Yeah. This is called Flow of Swords. And I have this Stone Age, Bronze Age. I call my work series like that. Sculpture Age, Drain Age. I had water harvesting things, and even Nuclear Age. I titled NEW Clear Age for Nuclear Age. Yeah, we want new clarity, not nuclear. That's what. Yeah. The possibility with bronze is that it's not like stone. You can make thinner and larger one and a lot of possibilities. These are a copper wire work. This is about 9 feet long. And I have done almost 10 work with the same technique. Mainly because I use this, it's like, you are just handling something at the same time with a small one tool, nose plier or something, and you tie it up nicely, from inside to outside, and also making the metal see-through, transparent like. Otherwise, all the bronze sculpture will look solid. Yeah. It's a copper work. I was very much interested in metal work because in my craft section, copper and all that provided, and I was quite fascinated with copper. So this is a copper sheet metal. There are metal inside and outside and riveted, the whole thing, yeah? It's a small work, only 1 foot or a little more or something like that. No, a little more than 1 foot, yeah? This is about 8 feet high, This is also copper and 15 inches. It's like a painting, I have this understanding of how you bring the 2-dimension to 3-dimension and stuff, which you must have seen earlier, touching the wall and touching the floor, So it is either going back to 2-dimension from 3-dimension or coming back, yeah? This work is actually this high, probably this high, taller than me. There's a glass bulb, this big bulb, and this complete thing is made of stainless steel, and I covered the whole thing with copper fiber, which is very nicely, you can roll it up, yeah. This is from the coconut tree, leaf. I've been doing some work like that. This is like a shelter with the copper wire. This is also a copper wire and beads. This is also copper. There are pinholes. If you put a light over there, you see the whole, room is filled up with light. Yeah. Size is this size. You put it on the floor and put some lights, you see, Yeah. This work is called How Goes the Enemy. That means, what is the time? Time is our enemy, sort of. These are all made of grandfather clock spring from the, So each spring would have, controlled 3 to 4 to 5 generations, actually. Now each spring is retired and taken out of the clock, and I've been, matting it, and it was very tough. I did all by myself, and actually the century was getting over, the exhibition, I exhibited that when the 20th century got over. This is called Dhanushka. Okay. This is called lantern. Yeah, next. Detail of the same, yeah. This is the exhibition, I had the exhibition in New York. That is the time my color changed because I was doing, in summer I've been working for so much, and there it was snowing, and I walked about 12 kilometers on ice, and I turned, something happened to me. So, this is iron work, it's about ½ an inch thick iron rods. Yeah, this is like iron, but it's about 25 feet high. This is done by waste material. In Ahmedabad I did this work. I can see, next. This is actually Nilgai, because that area is full of Nilgai. Yeah. So each age, Iron Age and Stone Age and all this, you could see yeah, next. I use some lever to bend it and things like that, and welding and things. This is also waste material actually, waste steel and waste iron also. Yeah, it's quite high. This is about 20 feet high. It was exhibited in New Delhi. This is actually made for birds to, like when the birds sit over it goes down. Then birds fly off and it will be moving for some time, things like mobile, yeah? The part of the work. This is also a bird bath. This is a water tank, and there's the top one is water fountain. It goes like you can increase the dimension of it, and water goes through it. It's about 15 feet high. Habitat center. This is how I made it in the factory, Jindal factory at that time, yeah? This is also another work I did. This is from the Stone Age. This is also a guava tree. I made the hole so that we can imagine inside, and some of the there's waste from the architecture, old wooden things and all that, added with it. And I use lacquer to bind it and things, yeah? And rope. Yeah. This made with pulp and glue. It's called, all this are from the same exhibition. Yeah. This work recently I did, probably why can't we use, coconut dry things and also, yeah? Next. This I have about quite a lot of coconut trees, and one time the price gone down, 2 rupees for a coconut. So I didn't sell anything. I gave most of them to insects and all that, eat. And everything become whole, a shell like. Then I tied them up and, with copper wire. Yeah, next please. This is also from the same. This work in a international leather show in Madras every year happens. So one of the years time, we decided to do a fine art show. Alliance France Madras organized it, and some leather factory has given us material. So I made a cow, like a table actually, first. Actually the idea of a table must have come from a beast, 4 legs. So I made it look like the table as well as the hoof and everything I carved. And this whole thing is made with cow dung and hay. And the cowhide, the skin I made and stitched it and turn it other way around, to reverse the thinking, sort of. And with the tail only made the mark of second death of the cow. Yeah, next please. This work, actually this is a shuttle. Actually our weaving and all that happens. And it also looks like a boat. Boat is also actually weaving culture, taking people from here to there and here and there. So, many years when the shuttle was retired, it was in my, I collected one and I was looking at it, what to do, made an axe to stop it, things like that, which also changes. So it's called Ale Ratur, means to and from, Yeah, next. Next. Also played different things with it. Then I collect things and I make things and there is a possibility I exhibit and stuff. Yeah, next. This is also a very severe thing. That is from a bullock cart. The bull walked and it was completely carved with the time, So when they were changing it, I happened to be there. Then I asked them, can I have it? They were very happy to give it to me just like that because they have planned to throw it. This is all some series called Anima Animus. Yeah? Yeah, next. This is when I am in a studio, when I'm relaxed, I'll play with clay and all that. And once I baked it, and I also found some old architecture thing, and I tied it up and composed it in a. This was exhibited in Indian Triennale once in Delhi. Yeah, it's called Sitas Hair. Actually, I don't have good slides of that. It's called cane. Yeah. Very long cane, I bend it, and the bottom is like the iron thing which you can buy in market to correct the floor and stuff. Yeah, next. Okay, next. This is just a pot. Normally when you see pot, you are not seeing the pot properly, the body of the pot. So I sandpapered the pot completely so you see the body properly. What all. And I cut it into two pieces and just so you can see also inside. Yeah, next. This is called, this was exhibited in Hyderabad, and it's a 35 feet tall sculpture which I made in 3 days' time. Okay, next please. Oh, all the slides are together, sorry for that. But it goes on till the third floor, Every stage, you can see that. This was the ceiling, that was the first floor, and the second floor, and third floor. Yeah, which is, okay. This is called Kudumbam. Kudumbam means family. One time I did it, it's almost like a life after death again, sort of. Yeah, next. In Malabar, we get this stone called laterite, but last generation of people have been plastering it and whitewashing it, and how beautiful it is, actually, the natural thing itself. So I tried to, make use of that quality of the material. This is called thriller. Yeah, next. This is also I titled Anka Banka. Once in Belgium, in a show, there was a show of Ram King Babe's name. Many artists were participating in it. It was curated by 2 curators, and it went on for a month. This is about 20 tons. They took it from my studio, exhibited it, and brought it back to my studio. Yeah? It's called, the laterite again. Yeah? This is also a laterite work called Passage. And the top one is a wood skin, a tree. Yeah, so I used it as it is, and I chopped it, and there's a mushroom, dry mushroom, I pasted is there, okay, next. This work I have done recently in Bhubaneswar. There was, again, recycling material, rebirth, what do you call it? Anyway, all these iron rods came from the concrete building. So while I'm bending it, it's all clearing up and things like that. And I titled this Bindu Samyuktam, because each welding is like one bindu for me. And bindu is connecting it to the next, that, and making iron, again, see-through, and as an architecture, you can go through the sculptures. Yeah, next. This is a drawing from it. Yeah, next. Finally, this was the situation. in a pedestal. The pedestal I made, you also get laterite in Bhubaneswar. So I made the pedestal with a laterite, and I covered with jaggery, the same soil from there. I get cement like very strong material by mixing it. Yeah. So everything do have iron in it. I also practice a lot of portraits whenever I get a chance, and I think there's so much to learn from portrait more than a photography. You see many dimensions. You can even see the skull form. You can even imagine, so many things while making portrait. Yeah, next, please. Yeah. Okay. I tried to make Gandhi by seeing many photographs and made him a little smile like quality and stuff. Yeah.